Hi, and welcome to another segment of Downtown Update. I'm your host, Kent Ayers, and we're here with Andre of the Huntington Beach Art Center. How are you doing, Andre?
I'm good.
Awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about what's going on today.
Well, today we are doing an open call to the public art exhibition where anyone can bring their work, pay a minimal entrance fee, and display their work in the galleries.
Awesome. Now, is that open to anybody in the Huntington Beach community only, or just anywhere?
Anyone. I mean, we have people years past from San Francisco, Arizona, Las Vegas, so they're kind of all over.
Awesome. Now, someone had mentioned to us that you do sculptures. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm a sculptor by trade, and I'm the art installer at the art center. So, my other art job is I'm a professional sculptor, and I was featured in Sculptor magazine last May. I've shown all over. I don't usually show work here because I work here and I install the other people's artwork. So that's my kind of day-to-day job.
Now, what kind of sculptures do you do? Do you animals, people, just modern art, or?
It's hard to explain, but most of it's considered contemporary art, and it's based on living objects or processed things like crystal formation and electronics, sound-based things. So the work evolves over time. As I'll make it. Here's an example: is I have a body of work that is trees that are embedded in concrete blocks, like concrete cubes or columns, and I make them and keep them in my studio for about 6 months to a year, and once they've adapted to their surroundings, then they go into shows, and so they live. I've had some that are, they're completely enclosed, so there's no openings, and they've been living for up to 4 years now, 5 years. So.
Oh, wow. And what got you started in sculpting and all that?
I don't know. I've just kind of been a tinker since I was a boy, so it evolved. I was when I went to school, I did all the practical stuff. I went and I was getting a microbiology degree and things like that, and then it's kind of like I just sort of lost interest towards the tail end of my initial education, and then started making art.
You went on the art because it was way more fun and it was more conducive to your brain, or?
It has well, in terms of science, it has a lot to do with science, because science you have to follow scientific formula and things like that. So you study things and you do experiments. But there's a rigid process that you have to abide by. And when you are in art, you can kind of do the same things as a scientist does, but you don't have to follow the restrictions. You don't have to follow like the reproducibility, because you're not establishing like precedents for anything. So you can just really experiment on anything you want without having those guidelines that you have to follow. And so that's really exciting, because life doesn't follow there's this old saying called life, it doesn't occur in a vacuum. And so most of science occurs in a vacuum. You have this regimented process where you don't have any outside influences. It all has to be like perfectly sterile to work an experiment or something. And in art, you don't. And that's where we live. We live with all these outside influences. So
Right. Now, how long have you been working here at the Art Center?
4 years.
Oh, wow. So it's been a while. And where's your studio at?
I don't have a studio. I work out of my garage, or I've done a few residencies over the past 2 years, and they're long, like a 3 month, 6 months residency. So I'll make work during those periods of time, and then it kind of all just goes to storage, or
it just goes away in your own personal collection, huh?
Yeah.
Now, is there a website that anyone can find your sculptures at, or pictures or anything like that?
Yeah, it's aswoodward.com. So ASWOODWARD.com. And also on Sculpture magazine website, there's a featured article for, if you go past to May, there's a whole article, videos, and things like that. And then my website should link from that as well.
Oh, very cool. Well, we thank you for your time. And come on down to the Art Center on Main Street. If you got some art, bring it on down, register it, pay a little fee, and they'll throw it up on the wall or somewhere in the Art Center. And all of you, stay tuned for the next update.